Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you to each and every one of you who has joined us in person at Peer List, and also to those who are joining us virtually on YouTube. We had a limited capacity, and that's the reason we were just able to send a few acceptance emails, and we are more than happy to provide this virtual experience as well for the TechBrewers GenAI Meetup Pune on YouTube. And really very sorry for all the people who have joined us in person for the delay. And I know it was supposed to start at 12 p.m. IST, but we are lacking. We are just postponed the event by half hour, I guess. So, just a small announcement that we had Pralhad Sonar as a speaker, but due to some reasons, he wasn't able to make it. And that's the reason I will be just taking over his session, and I'll be sharing a talk on Gen AI as well. I will just show you later in the agenda page that what are the things that we are going to cover today. So, firstly, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being there on a weekend and early morning around 12 and for devoting 3 hours of your life and of your weekend to the Tech Brewers community and attending and learning about Gen AI. Cool. I would like to introduce the speakers for today. Rahul Ambhore sir, who is Azure Solutions Architect at StateStreet Bank, Nakia, who is IT developer at Veritas, and me myself, Mruna. So I am founder and lead at Club Tech Brewers. And I'm also thankful to both of our sponsors, Securitium for sponsoring the event, and Peerlist for providing us with such a great venue. And these are the two important things when you are hosting a virtual or in-person event, that you need good sponsors so that you can deliver the best experience to all the community members. Yeah, just a small request to each and every one of you that share your excitement on social media. You can use the hashtag TechBrewersGenAI. You can just take a screenshot of the slide, and you can take screenshots during the session if you are attending in person. If you are joining us virtually, you can just take screenshots of your YouTube video and share it on socials. We'll make sure that we will reshare each and every post of yours if you are using the hashtag TechBrewersGenAI. Also, don't forget to tag us. We are at the rate Club Tech Brewers on each and every social media. So make sure you are tagging us along. Cool. So let's look at what we are going to explore today. So this is the agenda. This is the welcome note that has already begun. Then we have first talk by Rahul Ambhore, which will I know the timings are just a bit mismatched. It will be delayed by everything will be delayed by half hour, and yeah, we are thankful for your patience. The second talk will be myself, Mrunang Pawar. Then we have Snacks Plus Networking. I know it's a bit late and you all must be hungry. So for those who are joining us in person, we have some snacks for you. And then we will move on towards the third talk and the last talk of the day, which will be led by Nakia. And also we have a small quiz, so make sure that you are there after the snacks break. So we'll be having a short quiz on Gen AI. So make sure that you attend it, and you might win some prizes as well for that. And after the third talk, we'll be closing on a happy note. And yeah, then you can network with each other, with the professionals that are present there. You can talk about Gen AI, talk about community, talk about anything that you wish to, but just make sure you are not using proper words and you are not hurting anyone's feelings, right? So yeah, this is all the agenda is all about, and let's move towards what is Tech Brewers. So I will just quickly explain about what Tech Brewers is, because you are present at Tech Brewers Gen AI Meetup, and you should know that what we do as a community. So our journey started back in 2021. We started it as an inclusive community consisting of variety of interest groups. Right now, we have around 7 to 8 interest groups like web development, app development, AR, VR, AIML, and many different groups. So you can join those interest groups. You can discuss with other peers that this is the issue that I am facing, this is what I am currently learning, so that they can contribute to a learning progress process, and they can share some resources if they have, they can connect with you, and of course, last but not the least, you can build projects with other people in the community. You will have like-minded folks. For example, if a person is working on a web dev project and they want someone to partner with them, then you both can surely discuss it over the group, or you can just share the GitHub repo link and you all can contribute to the project. So this is what we had as our aim. You can see that there are two things highlighted in the entire slide. First one is 2021, that is the year we started our journey, and the second is learn, connect, build. So this is our aim. If you simply ask what TechBrewers does, is like we empower like-minded people to learn, connect, and build. These are the three things we always focus on each and every thing that we do. Like whether we are publishing a newsletter, we are sharing something important on a group, or we are organizing a meetup or a conference or a virtual event. So these are the three things that comes to our mind, and we make sure that we have this principle strong, that anything that we are delivering should be like a person should be able to take away these three things for sure from that perspective. Like for example, in today's meetup, you can learn about GenAI. You can connect with people who are working on GenAI or who are interested into the generative AI field. And of course, you can learn something like how you can implement those theoretical knowledge and build some practical things that can be helpful for the community or helpful for the world. So yeah, this is our aim to be like, in short. So speaking about some numbers, we have 1900 plus members globally, and we are very proud to say that we are not limited by boundaries, but we have members from various countries, and that makes us more and more inclusive. We have a wide range of people, starting from students to working professionals. So we make sure that a student can get to learn a lot of things from the working professionals, as well as working professionals get an idea of what students are expecting, or what are they currently building. So you might get a chance to land an internship or a job through a community. So I guess like we all are here, like the entire team of Tech Brewers is here to give back to the community, because in our journey at some or the other point we have got something from the community, and we believe that this is our time to deliver back to the community. So everything, I know, I might say the word community a lot of times, but yeah, it has given us a lot of things. We are here because of the community. I was very welcomed into that, and that's the reason we are doing each and everything. Which is like the growth, like the number of members that we have right now, that is 1900, is nearly 600% increase than what count we had last year. So we are very proud that we are growing exponentially and looking forward to onboard more and more members and help a lot of folks to dive into tech and get started with technology through Club Tech Brewers. So we have that aim ki if we are able to impact at least 5 or 6 people a year, even that's a good number for us, because at the end of the day, we are able to help someone get into tech, and they started their journey through TechBrewers. So that is a very big thing for us. So yeah, that was all about the opening note. And now I welcome Rahul Ambhore sir, and I hand over the mic to Vaibhav. Also, just while Vaibhav takes over, I just wanted to share that I really wanted to join this session in person. Unfortunately, I am not able to attend it in person, but attending in person events itself is a different kind of thing. And I'm a bit emotional that this is the first time I'm not able to organize or be physically present in the Tech Brewers meetup. So yeah, also best luck to the team. They have done a pretty good hard work, and thanks a lot to each and everyone.
Imagine you are an detective investigating a very high profile case, which is very complex, complicated, right? And you think that solve this case, you have need to read couple of books. That is for your exposure. So if you want to read those books, it will take say hours. Okay, it's not one book, three books, it's multiple books. So how what if I say instead of you reading those books, you have magical assistant who will read all those base books, create summary for you, and then it will give you the clue of it. That is welcome. That is all about how we can get help of the GenAI. Not AI, it's the subset of AI. So okay, that's the what we're gonna do today. That's the topic of today. So now back to me. My name is Rahul Ambhore. I work for I'm in the banking sector for last 10 years. That I was with the healthcare and then some startups. Coming back to the credentials, I am a certified trainer for last 6 years. I'm also solution architect for Azure for last, yeah, I guess 7 years. That's the overall history what I'm doing for last 15 years. Now, quick check. How many of you ever attended any GenAI session, AI session, read something about it? I just wanted to focus on so you get real value of this talk, right? I have one more session, but I want to just 30 minutes. So, just give me a quick plus check. How many of you know about GenAI, history of GenAI, OpenAI, Azure OpenAI? So we can skip that stuff. We can simply go to the LLMs. Yeah. All right. So I know that I think you all have a little bit of understanding about GenAI, generative AI, everyone's talking about. So GenAI is just like generates new stuff from the data that we use. Okay. So that is all. What is the data? How do we get all the data? What are these models? Everyone talks about LLMs. Facebook has their own LLMs. So if you go on what you call it, Hugging Face, there are thousands of LLMs every day. Even you will see 10, 20, 30, even hundreds of LLMs getting published every day, just like any images, any versions on the face. So what is the critical, what is the key thing behind the in short of GenAI? So that is LLMs. The LLM also has a couple of other versions. So large language model you would simply get lots of data and then train the data on certain parameters and you publish it. Say generate data. You want to know about one, you want to know about the other city, right? You can simply ask those questions to the GPT models, GPT, GPT 3.5, GPT 4, Turbo. That is coming from the Azure OpenAI's world of it. But also outside of it, there are multiple other models coming out, which is specific to these things. So, if I want to broadly categorize this stuff into two main categories, yeah. So you will see generic Gen AIs, which would say, tell me about the city, tell me about India. If someone is visiting to India, they will want, they really wanted to know about people. How do I talk to the people here? What are the foods are good here, and then how do I travel from that location, right? These are very generic stuff that even chat GPT and all those things can help you. Yeah. So if you categorize it, so generic Gen AI. Generic Gen AI is one category, and then there is another category called game changer Gen AI, called classic Gen AI, called standard Gen AI. I was recently in one of the conferences in Mumbai, and they have presented their Gen AI footprints, calling it classical Gen AI versus generic Gen AI, and then standard Gen AI. It is just the version how we talk about it. It's a classification. So there are 22 generic, which I talked about it, and another one is what do you call it? More specific game changer Gen AI. So, Gen AI, we all know how are the use cases generally what we are using, right? So, if you want to email, SaaS, give that, if you want to just have your day to learn Python or something, you can just ask about it. But what about specific domains, banking? How do we prevent or detect or predict the frauds in the banking systems? Yeah. That could be the one use case. I'm being in Azure, so I have to see how this GenAI can be used in Azure or DevOps era, right? Or in your real life, because that's where the real value is. We all know about where everyone is talking about GenAI, everyone is know about. What is the real value we can get out of it? How one is can implement and then get real value out of it, right? So that's the real. So see, in healthcare, you get lots of scans, you get X-rays, you get eye scans, right? How we can get all those scans and predict someone's health. So if I take if I train a model of the healthcare related data, and then I just push, just update the image of your scan of your eyes, right? This model is capable to identify or predict whether this person is diabetic or will be diabetic or will there be any chances of exposed to the cancer or any critical illnesses. So see the impact of this thing, right? How if you just scan of one simple scan, you'll be able to treat a very critical illnesses at very early stages, not in the first stage. Right? That is the key thing, and that's how the this GenAI specific domain that AI can add to a type human lives. So that's one thing. Yes. We want to see two things here. Okay, this is all you know, so I really don't want to talk about it. This is something that we all know, right? This is not really you are using your laptop or your phones, Android, right? You see when you type something, it automatically predicts something. Now that is already built into our Gmail, right? You type hi, responding someone, the name of the person automatically coming to the hi the day, right? So that is already the prediction model. That model is already built into the all our use cases. That is that is already there. We are already using this GenAI kind of application, right? It is in translations, voice to word recognition. If you might now use the word MS words critical image talk to write down all this, right? Voice to text capabilities, those kind of stuff is already there. So, so NLP versus LLM, right? So again, this is coming to that. If you want to really focus on one topic, one domain, then you can use the NLP stuff. Otherwise, you have more generics of LLM models, which will cater to your most of the requirements. Um, so this is very critical. And I also learned a very recently. because I got into the Microsoft AI tour in Bangalore and then in Mumbai. So that's where what I learned about it. So LLM is good. Everyone knows we can train our data. Can we really train our data? We are the doctor people, not the OpenAI CEO, right? We have the money to train all those things. We have the application to train all those things. We have Adobe compute engines to train all those models on our data. I think that is most of the time it is not possible for normal people to start small players to organize, right? So then that needed funding from the big organizations. That's where this kind of gratitude generally come in picture, and that's where many people are focusing their efforts on inner act. So I think nothing but the say very layman term. So you have generic models, foundation models, GPT, GPT-4, Turbo. These are very foundation generic models. Everyone has the vanilla models. Okay, so now you got that model in your systems, or you integrated that model using the cloud or whatever, and then you have a specific domain information. So, say you are a recruitment agency, yeah, you have multiple issues, or you are college, you got the admission forms, or you are healthcare, right? You got patient's details, yeah, how many times this patient has been reached to us for which requirement, what is his history, which where is shown, or what is the medication being prescribed, what is the response. So all those things are specific domain specific data. So what we can do simply we can have all those raw data in a vector database and then data embeddings. This is kind of new world to you just explore it when you go what is vector DB, how to create embedding around it, and then how to integrate that with the LLM policy. So you have this data, you integrate that, you add it into the vector database and then create embeddings. What will happen when you have a prompt? They have give me the data of this person, uh, which medicine has been prescribed to you, and what is the response of it, right? It will go to your LLM, LLM will go to your RAG and get all the relevant data, and then it will give your user. So that is the kind of very high level tool, right? It is more technical, not just like that. But just this very high level how it is how it works. So in that way, what we can do, we can also leverage your own data and make the real value of it. Otherwise, what will happen that and then another challenge that RAG solves is hallucination. Sometimes it is just say anything nonsense. I asked very funny thing to LLM part, not GPT. During my Diwali vacation, I asked to plan my trip. I have to go I have to drive and I have to travel with my family. Okay, and this is like 400 kilometers. It took care from the Google Maps, routed on the state, but on the way it did plan many ports which never available. It said Aurangabad has this port and this built by in 17th centuries. Actually, it is not. So it fakes many things. Okay, that is called hallucinations. To avoid hallucination, you can ask LLMs to get data from your real database, which is RAG, right? So it will not hallucinate. It will, but it will reduce to certain levels. So that is the another way of looking. Okay, so yeah, some of the foundation models we have ChatGPT, right? Now we have Darpa. So, quick check again. You want me to show a quick demo or you want to go over the
It will be better if we go with the demo as well.
demo, right?
Yeah.
So now I'll just go ahead and whatever I talked about now, right? So LLMs, how LLM works, DAX. So it's not possible to create a demo for it, but we'll talk about use. So now, say you are an organization, you have a LLM models, you have GPT, right? How do we expose that to the end users? Because technical people using doesn't make any sense, right? You are not adding into the you're just using the system. Maybe you are learning, experiment something, but when your end users use that product, then when you make a money, yeah, that's the usually general requirement. But talk about it, how Azure's GenAI we can use. And so I'll quickly get the Azure. Yeah. So you can let's see.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the Azure portal. Azure has the integration with OpenAI, and OpenAI is building the all those models to have these models based on platform. Microsoft is providing the compute and hardware and all sort of things. That is kind of a very high level integration, and then there's many other stuff. So Microsoft is giving the hardware to the OpenAI building the models, and then in return Azure is using their models in their all suites like Microsoft. You'll see everywhere Copilot. If you go to any Microsoft event, this is nothing but the Copilot related stuff. There is the also integrated Copilot here to see the Microsoft Copilot, Azure Copilot. So the thing is that our life as a engineer becomes very easy. If you just ask this Copilot, tell me which are the resources is not properly, right? So there are thousands of resources in my subscriptions. I wanted to know ki, okay, I have created these resources and it's not properly. Tagging is critical for the costing purpose. Okay, so that's all we can do. So now coming back to the creating a resource and creating the actual chat GPT, how do we talk and then exposing to the users to actually leverage it. So we're gonna do that now. So just to create anything, we need a resource group. So we have this group already created. I just go ahead and create Azure OpenAI model or studio. I just type in Azure OpenAI, right? So this is the one that you can simply select. How do you get access to it? I'll talk about it later, and then we can go from. So just give a name. There's only one single pricing here. If you have any question a little later about how does it cost, who can how do we ensure that this cost stays, how do we ask proper question, which is prompt engineering, we can talk about it also. But just see in a time of what we can do. Yeah. So this will just go ahead and deploy the create a resource of Azure OpenAI. It is just nothing but the skeleton of the OpenAI, okay, Azure OpenAI. After that, we also need to do a deployment. While it is deploying, I have created resource already for this demo just to avoid avoid the but see. So it will go and this is what happens during the demo. Okay. Okay, so this is how it will go ahead and so now it is you're talking to your end user is talking to the web app which is hosted in Azure, and then they again in the backend it is talking to your LLM models, right? And getting the details from here. So end users are not at all exposed the all technicality of it. Yeah. Now your sales team wanted to know, so, okay, what is the sales figures for this quarter for this customer, right? They can simply ask on this mobile application and then I'll get all the details instead of finding all those Excel sheets and everything. Okay, that is the power of it. All right, so that is a quick demo about it. Now I have a few things to cover around prompt engineering and program other things. But any quick questions around why we should use, what is difference between LLMs, RAG, or how do we deploy, how do we get access, how much money it would initially cost, and all sort of any question, any generic thing.
The model that we just created in the workshop demo, I saw the pricing plan on that one as well. So for students registering for that, just to try it, we get the credits for that, just to try out such models and create something.
So now I think it was very restrictive couple of months back. Okay, so now if you have a subscription, you take a free subscription, you can fill a form. So I'll show you how to fill the form. Just go to, or just Google it, get access to the Azure OpenAI model. You'll get a proposal, register for it, and wait for the confirmation. Usually you'll get it. That's what my experience is. If you just make sure that you will fill it right, you are doing for NGO or student category, right? So you are not using for the commercial purposes. That will then they are few more details to that way. Yeah, so that way you can get access and then you can play around. I think
Get APIs for this.
can you get?
APIs for this. Exactly like OpenAI.
Yeah, so this is yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is all everything is API here. So you can just I'll show you. Go to the if you see, if I go to the viewport here, this is the my endpoints where I can hit, and this is my API key, and then there is more. So in generally, there are two endpoints in Azure OpenAI Studio. One is chat, where you just do a kind of agent stuff, right? You ask it who is the Prime Minister of India, all sorts of normal stuff. And there is completion endpoints where say so now you wanted to summarize something, right? You have a large book of some PDF, right? You add it as a context and ask it to summarize the article in a couple of words. So this is the another one. The another API endpoints is the DALI. We can simply go ahead and ask it to create a couple of images, whatever the imagination you have, right, or whatever requirement you can just go ahead and it will create for you. So this is the another endpoint. The only limitation here is this all the endpoints are not always uniform. Now we might be saying this is only available in Express 2, whereas the daily and then daily was not available in Express 2. Express. So we need to see what is the primary requirement and then we can deploy that one. So I created one of the one here which was in Express 2. So that time daily was not working. So just explore it, then see which one fits the requirement. Yeah. And then if you go back to the portal, then there is a proper key. There are two keys. You can go and get the keys, the endpoints, then you can get the so the application that we just deployed, right, which is nothing but which is the same API keys model. Take to the OpenAI the same thing you can do with your application. All right. So one last thing, I think this is all very normal stuff to talk about, right? But when you go when you shop and say if you go in, so if you go in a village and ask them the proper Pune language, right? They'll get a little bit confused, yeah? Or they'll not understand. Someone from the village side, they'll ask same question to the shops in mall, right? They'll get confused. So you need to ensure that when you talk to someone, we should talk in proper language so that way they understand and we get a proper response. Give proper attention to get that is nothing but the foundation thing. You ask the question in right manner to get a right question. Just not say I want to go from here to Aurangabad. Just ask proper model the proper way. I want to go in the morning from Aurangabad to Pune to Aurangabad. And I have a preference to go by road. I wanted to leverage the private buses. Maybe just give an example of I wanted to leverage the Tamil bus or Pranam or something like that. So even giving that text or more information to a prompt, it is very important. Yeah. So doing that input to the model, then you will get a proper, very proper response. There are many techniques also. Considering the time, I think I'll stop here. But if you have any questions around costing, cloud engineering, LLMs, or we build LLMs in-house, how they power, if you have anything to related to Azure, how do we get started on Azure, with these things, reach out. If you have any question now also, let us try to sort it out. I'll try to answer.
Thank you, Rahul, sir. It was like very pretty well, like throughout explanation how we can implement LLMs and how we can leverage the Azure OpenAI. I want to felicitate Rahul, sir. So Ayush, please come over to the stage to felicitate Rahul. So now, second session will be from Bruna. So Bruna will be getting connected.
Yeah. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Cool. So I guess I'm audible. Just someone let me know. Cool. I'll be talking about it will be a short session or a short talk, and I'll be talking about discriminative versus generative AI and the evolution of chatbots. So a lot of us are right now exploring or using generative AI in daily lives. We use ChatGPT, Gemini, like earlier we used to use Bard, but which is now Gemini. So right now, if we think of each and like anything, we earlier used to go to Google and then search for it, but right now it's our habit kind of thing that the first thing that we try to search is on ChatGPT, and then if we don't get it there, then we like try to go on Google or Stack Overflow or something else because of course, some of the benefits and some of the features of generative AI, and that's the reason we should know the difference between what was discriminative AI and what is generative AI, because these two are totally different things. And also, we'll be just walking through how the chatbots evolved from being rule-based to generative chatbots that we interact with nowadays. Yeah, so I'll just quickly share a few points about me. So I'm founder and lead at Club Tech Brewers. Also, I was awarded as MLS Top 50 Hackers for 2023. I'm a Metaspark creator and expert trainer, which is an AR/VR platform for developing social AR experiences. I am an AI enthusiast, and that's the reason I am giving this talk today because I have been exploring generative AI, and believe me, it's really like amazing to develop something that can be of some use and that will help us a lot in our daily lives. Also, last but not the least, I am a huge fan of hackathons and communities. I like to contribute to hackathons, participate in hackathons, and of course, contributing to communities for sure. So you can connect with me on socials, like these are my LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you have any doubts or if you want to reach out to me, you can through these socials. Cool. So this is the agenda. These are the points that we'll be covering. What is discriminative AI versus generative AI? Rahul sir correctly mentioned like he went through generative AI Azure services for using generative AI, and yeah, we will just be going through the theoretical aspect of it, but it will make your basics clear that why generative AI is important, why we are using it, and how it works basically. So we'll be going through the difference, then what is GPT and what is Chat GPT. A lot of people just know, like even me, when I was initially introduced to Chat GPT, I was like, Chat GPT is only everything. But GPT is the basic building block behind Chat GPT, and Chat GPT is just built over the GPT. Chat GPT is just a, we can say, kind of interface where we interact with it. And lastly, as I mentioned in the last slide, we will be going through evolution of chatbots. So yeah, let's talk about discriminative AI. So I guess a lot of you might have uh, used discriminative AI in your projects, college projects, or college assignments, where you have to predict whether it will rain or not, or we can say what kind of weather it would be, whether it will be rainy, sunny, or cold, or what will be the weather. So whenever a thing comes into the picture that we have to classify something, or let's say we have to decide whether it will go into this category. For example, we have provided cats and dog images, and we have got a test image that which is a image of a cat, and we have to decide whether it will go into cats or dogs. So it's kind of we are predicting based on labels. So let's go through the text that I have here in the slides, which is discriminative models focus on predicting labels or categories based on input data. So as I mentioned right now, we have the input data, and those are divided into different categories by with the help of labels. And discriminative models specifically concentrate on learning the decision boundary between different classes in the input data. So there might be certain parameters which divide a cat from a dog. So discriminative models basically help you to define that line that okay, if these are the parameters, then that animal or the pet or that pet is a cat. Or if these are the parameters, then that animal or a pet is most probably to be a dog. So this is how discriminative AI is used. Most of us have used discriminative AI a lot in our college life. I am a recent graduate, that's why I know that we had these assignments. Okay, just classify that whether the testing data will go into a cat or a dog. Some of my friends did brain tumor detection projects as well. Those who are present right now in person at the event. So they had this thing that we had to classify whether it will be a brain tumor or not based on the scan. So whenever a thing comes that we have to classify something or has a generic value, we can say a Boolean value kind of thing, yes or no. Will it rain or no? Will there be traffic or no? So Boolean values plus when there are numeric numbers. So anything that cannot be generated, but it gives you an integer value or a double value. So whenever it returns a value or something that is singular in sense, not actually singular, but it can be based on the previous data. then we can say it's discriminative because you're discriminating between two classes, between two categories based on the labels. So I guess it's pretty clear like what discriminative AI is. It's basically just dividing into those two classes, and we are deciding the discriminative models are basically helping you to learn the decision boundary, that this will be the boundary, right? And then we have generative AI. This is the word that's heard a lot in Silicon Valley nowadays. And generative models aim to understand the underlying structure of the data and generate new samples. So, apart from discriminative AI, in discriminative AI, we weren't able to generate new test images. Like, we surely can generate new test images, but when you are running the prompt or when you are running the model, it's not generating new things. But in generative models, in generative AI, the generative models are developed for the purpose of generating new samples, right? So, generative models achieve this by learning the probability distribution of the input data. So now, if I have to give you a real life example, uh, I guess each and every one of you might have used ChatGPT once at least. So whenever we use ChatGPT, if you have seen, whenever we input the prompt, we input the entire sentence and click enter or just ask it to generate. So when it generates, it doesn't give you the entire output, but it like gives 4 or 5 words, then it thinks, and then again it gives next 4 or 5 words, then again it pauses, next 4 or 5 words, pauses, next 4 or 5 words. So it's like it's matching the probability distribution of each and everything, because it works like, okay, now for example, I have asked it to write 5 lines or 5 sentences about generative AI, and this is the content that it displayed to me. So if I see, then initially it will just give me the output generative models aim to. Then it will think that okay, then it will have a lot of options available. One of those options was understand underlying structure. The another option was uh, to generate new text. Another option was generate new samples, but it chose to give me understand the underlying structure. Then again, it pauses here and then it has multiple options available. Then it chooses this one of the data and generate. Then again, it has a few options: generate images, new samples, text, audio, video, and multiple things. There are a lot of things that it can generate. It can generate code as well. So it will think and then it will just do the probability calculation, and it will say that okay, generate new samples seems to be a proper good sentence, so I will go ahead with it. And then uh, as I mentioned, it basically works on the basis of probability distribution. So it calculates the probability. Does this word match the next word that I have that are available in the options? And if it's a perfect match, then it goes ahead with that. And then the system goes ahead with the similar kind of way. We have a few images in the next slides where I will be showing you the technology that is behind the all this magic that's happening, and you'll get a clear understanding of how it works later on as we move ahead in the slides. But I guess as an overview, it was pretty clear that what is discriminative AI and what is generative AI. So I just want to ask if anyone has any doubts, then they can ask it out. Okay, cool. I will just continue with the session. And now, cool. So next is what is GPT? So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. This is just a full form and not what GPT is. But GPT is advanced deep learning model that is developed by OpenAI, which is the same organization which has developed ChatGPT. And so you can see that here the point is that they have developed an advanced deep learning model, but it's not only a deep learning model, but a lot of technologies intervene into it to make it more compatible and more make it more efficient to deliver efficient results. So GPT is designed to generate human-like text based on a given input or prompt. So whenever we use ChatGPT, the thing that we give to it is just an input or a prompt that, okay, generate a code for me, which maybe generate a HTML web page for me or something of that kind, or generate a poem on generative AI or something, anything. So we give an input or prompt. So both of these terminologies are the same, and it is basically trained on the corpus of text. Uh, Corpus basically means that the entire book or the entire internet is provided to it. That okay, just this is your syllabus, study well. This is all the content that you have to go through, and it is trained on the entire text data to learn the patterns and relationships in those languages. And that's the reason, like, because it's not intelligent as a human. It has to study, it has to be trained, and then we will be testing it upon our inputs and prompts. So yeah, GPT, whenever we talk to Chat GPT or whenever we converse with any AI models nowadays, it simply feels like we are talking with a human, and it doesn't give those repetitive responses which we experienced in earlier years. Because earlier, when we used to have a conversation with the chatbots that were integrated into the websites, whenever you put anything, it will give you some output that is already in the database, or it's already hard coded that okay, if this is the thing that the person asked, then this should be the output. If this is the next thing that is asked, then this should be the output. We will see that as well in the evolution of chatbots. But yeah, this is how it used to be in earlier years, and nowadays it has become efficient, it has become human like. It gives you a feel that you are talking with a human. It generates text like you are having a conversation with your friend, with examples or something, which makes it more personalized. So moving on to the next slide, look at what is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is basically built upon the GPT itself, and it is an advanced conversational AI model developed again by OpenAI, and it is based on the GPT architecture. So here you can see GPT is just an architecture, and ChatGPT is an application which we use, and ChatGPT is a conversational AI basically, or interface where we chat with it, we give it input or prompts, and it in return it gives us the output and prompt. Right, so it also uses deep learning techniques to generate human-like responses in a conversational context. Remember, like in the last slide, I mentioned that it's not only deep learning model that is into the picture, but there are a lot of techniques and technologies that are involved into this to make the experience smoother and nicer. So, uh, two of the technologies we have already covered. One is deep learning, and the other one is uh, like generating human like responses. So we use NLP for that. And ChatGPT is last but not the least. This is the important point. A lot of people, or a lot of us as well, we think that ChatGPT is just something where we input, and it's just a trade-off between inputting and outputting of prompts, but it is really more than that. If we see, then OpenAI recently launched Sora, which is you can generate videos using the textual prompts. So it's pretty useful for businesses, those who are trying to target marketing things. So yeah, These are the underlying technologies. There are different technologies. As we saw, neural network architecture is one of those. Deep learning is the thing that we saw in the previous slide. NLP is something that I mentioned, and machine learning. So these all technologies come together and deliver us a good experience and deliver us the experience of chatting or having a conversation with a human, like not with a human actually, but it gives us a feeling that we are having conversation with a human, like conversational AI chatbot. So as I mentioned that as we move ahead, we have some images. So this is how neural network architecture looks like. So the first one is input layer, the last one is output layer. And in this case, there is just a single hidden layer, but there can be multiple hidden layers as well. The more the number of hidden layers, the more accurate and precise your model is to perform because it learns a lot from because it passes through a lot of filtering whenever it's giving you an output, and there are less errors to be uh, so there are chances of less errors to be detected, and you will get a proper output response. So the second one is machine learning. We saw that in machine learning there are two types again: supervised, unsupervised. And then supervised is something that whenever we have labels for the data, training data is uh, allocated some labels, then it's supervised learning. In unsupervised, it's not compulsory to be labeled, but it's like the words itself means supervised. They are supervised by something, and unsupervised, they are on their alone. They learn by like we can say reinforcement learning kind of thing. We test it out, and if it doesn't work, then again we change the parameters, we change some, we fine tune everything, and then again test it. So also ChatGPT uses RLHF, which is reinforcement learning human feedback. So whenever you get an output from the output from the chat GPT, you can see at the bottom it asks you whether a thumb or a like or a dislike, that whether this is the thing that you expected them to answer. If you say no, then they actually, this is reinforcement learning. So in reinforcement learning, it's basically that it gives you a reward, like it gives the model a reward that okay, you did well, so this is your reward. And the model understands that okay, this is the thing that I need to continue performing, and if it doesn't, then it just allocates some fine to it. So it understands that okay, I don't have to make this mistake again. And this is how the reinforcement learning works. And human feedback is like we are providing the feedback that okay, this was the perfect answer and it was as per my expectations. So yeah, next we have deep learning, and in deep learning, it's again similar to how a human being thinks. It's more closely related with how human brain works, and it's developed for mimicking the human brain. And the last is NLP, that is natural language processing, which is useful to make the conversational AI sound more like a human, and it should give you the feeling that okay, another person is talking to you and not a chatbot. So that's the reason NLP is used. Cool. So now let's move towards evolution of chatbots. And so chatbots are divided into basically two categories. First one is rule-based chatbots, and the other is AI-based chatbots. So in AI-based chatbots, we have retrieval-based chatbots and generative chatbots. So we'll go through each and every type of chatbot, starting from rule-based to generative chatbots. So in rule-based chatbots, they follow predefined rules and decision trees to generate responses based on specific keywords or pattern in user input. So a lot of us might have used chatbots, which we like. Mostly the customer care chatbots are rule-based, we can say. Uh, like not customer care chatbots that are available right now, but the ones that are available on Saturdays and Sundays whenever a person is on holiday. So whenever you input anything, but the output you receive is that okay, the customer service is on holiday. We will be opening on Monday at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. So this is said that okay, for a particular scenario, that if a message is sent on Saturdays and Sundays, then this is the response that the chatbot will provide. Or in earlier days, whenever you used to ask to a FAQ to a chatbot, then user would input that how do I reset my password, and it will just give you something that is stored in its database that okay, if this is the input, then this should be my response, and the response is to reset your password, please visit our website and click on the forward password link. Now, if we take this same question in a scenario nowadays, then it will ask you that what are the issues that you are facing? Did you have a password earlier, or did you forget it, or this is the first time you are trying to set your password? Or there might be many possibilities behind the reason you want to reset your password. It might have been leaked or something. So it will first ask you, it will try to understand you as your friend can, and then it will provide you solutions step by step by understanding the entire problem. And this is how rule-based chatbots were, and nowadays we get two personalized kind of chatbots. The next one are AI chatbots. So AI chatbots is just as we saw, it's further subdivided into retrieval-based and generative chatbots, where retrieval-based chatbots are more similar to what we saw in rule-based. But yeah, let's see. Uh, okay. In AI chatbots, they utilize AI. Of course, AI chatbots will utilize artificial intelligence and often incorporating ML and NLP so that it can understand and respond to the user more dynamically than rule-based systems. Because as I mentioned earlier, if we are using rule-based chatbots, it doesn't try to understand the user like what they are asking. It's just hard-coded, and whenever you put something, it just pops up immediately. But whenever nowadays you put something to the chatbot, it thinks for a while because they are trying to understand the pattern and the gist of what scenario you are in actually. For example, now if you see user is inputting what's the weather like today, so the chatbot replies, I can check that for you, could you please provide your location? So it didn't share a random location for the matter of the question. It might have shared anything like for example the weather at the location of where the organization is. For example, if it's a Amazon customer care and you ask Amazon, like you won't ask Amazon chatbot to for the weather, but just in case you ask it, it might have gave you the weather in Seattle. But no, it asked you that, okay, I can check that for you, but could you please provide me the location of which you want the weather? Like which location weather would you like to, you are interested in basically. So it's here using AI, it's trying to understand what you are asking, and then it will provide you the response and not just bombard you with, okay, this is the output, take it. So this is the difference between the rule-based and AI-based chatbots basically. Now, if we see in the retrieval-based chatbots, so retrieval-based chatbots select pre-existing responses from a predefined set based on the input, relying on patterns and matching to choose most appropriate response. So now, as I mentioned that sorry, retrieval-based chatbots and rule-based chatbots are somewhat similar, but there is a minor difference that in retrieval-based, so it relies on patterns and it chooses the most appropriate response among those. Whereas if we see in the rule-based chatbots, in rule-based it's just hard-coded. Here as well it's hard-coded, but it goes through all those patterns that these are the alternatives, and among these alternatives, I have to choose the most appropriate one. So this is the difference between rule-based and retrieval. Now, for example, if a user is saying, "How can I return a product?" So the chatbot says that for returns, please visit our returns and exchange page on our website for detailed instructions. So it didn't just give a blind answer that how can I return a product. It might have said email to xyz@gmail.com or returns.com, and then you can return the product there, or you can contact with them. But it just said that, okay, I want to return a product. Then under the returns and exchanges page, I will have different sections that what is the purpose of the return? Like, uh, is it a faulty piece or anything? So according to that, it will now then again I can come back to the chatbot and I can say, okay, the reason behind returning the product is that I didn't like it, or it's an incorrect product. So the chatbot will again understand that, okay, these are the issues that they are facing, and that's the reason they are returning the product. And then it can redirect you to the particular thing or a particular person who can take care of that from that point. And then again, we have generative chatbots. So generative chatbots use deep learning techniques to generate responses on the fly, because you are not training anything. Whenever you are asking ChatGPT anything, you go out of anything and just enter on ChatGPT that, okay, give me a recipe for cooking Maggie, or not cooking Maggie, but give me a recipe for preparing paneer masala or something. So ChatGPT has no idea what you will be asking, so it's generating responses on the fly. It has been for sure trained on the corpus of text. It has been trained on all the recipes that are available in the market, on the internet, but it didn't have any idea that, okay, you are going to ask that. Whereas other chatbots are very customized to the organization thing. For example, if you are chatting with a Flipkart chatbot, so Flipkart chatbot will be customized according to all the features that they have. It won't give you a recipe. The foolish example that I gave back, uh, like for the weather, you won't be going to Amazon website and searching for weather, right? So generative chatbots can generate anything because they are trained on the entire corpus. But of course, if an organization has adopted generative chatbot and they have made it such that it's only limiting it to their products, and it's only developed for the purpose of helping customers know their product, how to use it, and uh, help find out the help through the documentation. So in that case, we can't help for sure. But yeah, in short, what I meant to say is that it generates responses on the fly. As I mentioned, it prints a few statements, prints a few words, then again things, then again prints a few words, and it's allowing for more dynamic and context-aware interactions by creating new content rather than selecting from predefined options. So if you ask generative AI or ChatGPT to write a poem, and then again, if you ask that, okay, I just copy paste the same prompt, there are high chances that it won't get repeated. You will receive a new response because it's creating new content rather than selecting from all those predefined options, because it's trying new alternatives. And for example, you can see a user is asking, tell me a story about a space adventure, and chatbot starts sharing a story. Now, once upon a time in a galaxy far away. Again, if I mention that, okay, tell me a story about a space adventure, This time it might give me a different thing that uh, there was a galaxy far away, there was a brave explorer, and this way. So it will change the sequence, it can change the entire story. So this is how generative chatbots work basically, and I hope you got a pretty good understanding of how it would look. What is the difference between discriminative and the generative AI? Also, how chatbots evolve from rule-based to the generative chatbots. And yeah, thank you for patiently listening to me. And again, I hand it over to Weber.
Yeah. Thank you, Mronal. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. I guess our attendees has gained a little bit in like intermediate knowledge about how we can know about discriminative as well as GenAI. So that was pretty great.
Thank you.
After this, folks will be having a quiz. So Sana and I usually conduct the quiz. So out of that, we will choose three winners. So whoever win the or like answer the fast, we will have 10 MCQs. So whoever answer fast will win goodies. We have a little bit of envelope compact with stickers and goodies. Okay. Let me share the QR.
Okay, so थोड़ा सा fun है. 2 sessions हो गए, intense sessions थे. So like we'll be starting the quiz. You can scan this code, scan this QR code, and just go on the link. Type your real names so that we know if you win, definitely you are in for a good giveaway. Okay, so
Okay, wait. Wait a second. Scan this QR and you can join it.
there is a leaderboard that you think what the participants have joined, and there will be 10 questions for you all. So like be quick with your options and choose right most probably. Like
Please state your name if possible, or let us know who's this. Okay.
okay. 4 people join in.
All right.
Few more. Expect. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
20. Okay.
Yeah. Is I think it's invalid to.
Try again. Try joining through the link as well.
Scanning. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There's the link as well. URL.
Or the number of 321,051.
Same issue. Uh, just bear with us for a minute. Uh, okay. All right. So let's start the quiz.
Thank you. So let's start. Question is up in a second. Okay, so what is generative AI? Basically, we all must be aware about this. Most of the must have. Let's see who is the fastest. Okay. Okay, it's still our wrong answer.
Right.
I was not paying attention to this question. It's okay. Next question. 4, 3, 2, 1. Some. Oh, what is deep fake technology? See, let's see. Okay, 88%. Okay,
Nice.
right answer. What is text to image generation in the context of generative AI? Okay, what is it exactly? Storing text as images. Uh, okay, okay, few wrong answers. Okay, still we have the same leaderboard, no changes. Be a bit more quick. I guess we can shift next one. What is OpenAI GPT-3 known for? Equal and why is that the leaderboard changes? It has not. Okay, okay. Have three people here. Stop. Question. What is unsupervised learning in the context of AI? Okay, we all know that. It should be right. The leaderboard still changes. It changed. Okay, the third. Okay, so it is getting speed. Next question. What is transform model often used? Okay. Ooh. Okay. what is the difference between generative AI and experimental? I guess Pralhad well explained that. So I hope no wrong answers in this question. Really. Still, two participants. Okay, who were those? Okay. No changes in the leaderboard. It's still the same. Next. What is word in generative AI? Take a wise guess. Think. Okay. State of the art. No changes in the leaderboard. Still, the Amish is doing pretty good. Ninth question. Just last two chances of changing. GenAI is every time. It's quite evident to be honest on that. So, guys, seriously, so this question. Okay, last question. Let's see, leaderboard change hota hai. I don't think so, but the third position might switch. Try parameters just
Tricky one.
see ChatGPT. It's quite a statistical kind of question. Let's see how many wrong answers we can get. Just two participants gave the right answer. Okay, so now I guess we have the leaderboard. First is Nimish, second Rohan, and third
That's
again Rohan. But promoting his community here, but it's okay. So congratulations to all of you, the first three winners. So you're in for good giveaways and swags. So it's just yeah, 9, 8, and 8. It's pretty well played. This one.
Let's give them the.
Okay, right now?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Sure.
Yeah. Come on stage. So actually we are having a delay in our actually snacks trade due to some issues. It's still coming in. So till then you can network with each other. I know you're like you got bored a lot. Like we have delayed start and we have some pretty good sessions over here. So you can now chill, you can relax and network with each other. Okay, so like you can ask doubts, you can ask anything related to tech or whatever you want, and connect with us as well regarding anything. Okay,